Yes, sir. Welcome everybody to Hooligans High. It's your boys. We already did the intro, but we want to get started. How's your boys' weekends? Because we didn't really. I don't think we really talked much. Like I think the last time we all spoke was Friday because we were all on GTA, right?
Yeah.
Like well, all three of us at the same time. I know you
Yeah, yeah,
guys
yeah.
got like no. Okay, sweet.
Well, I mean, nothing really. Uh, this week has been extra uneventful. I don't know, bro. Like, it's weird to say that, like, the fact that our weather's because weather in Jersey right now little iffy. I don't know. It's been on, it's been off. A lot of like hot as
Rain,
hell, and then out of
nippy.
nowhere, cold as hell,
Oh,
and
okay,
then out
okay.
of nowhere, then it just and it downpours. Like it's just been on and off nonstop. So people are out, people are not out. And when the days are
Inconsistent.
busy, they're not because of that. So yeah, bro, the flow's off. Like this entire week has been real off.
Mm.
At least in my opinion. I don't know.
I
My
mean,
weekend
it's
was
just how your weekend went.
yeah. It's a weekend one. Yeah. I mean, my weekend personally was
I mean,
pretty rough because I had that whole jet lag coming
Oh yeah,
on Thursday, so I was recovering from that Friday, Saturday, both physically and mentally. Because Jesus Christ, just like the urge to fight sleep when you just want to sleep and you're so uncomfortable, it's just ridiculous. Um, but aside from that, pretty good. Hang out with the family, stick close to the family. Watch Mandalorian season one. I know I'm far behind everybody. Mind you, I do want to watch everything, but I'm watching it with my sister, so please forgive me. But I just finished season one Mandalorian. It's fucking awesome. Really enjoying that.
oh, look at him being a good brother.
Gotta be
yeah.
there.
What a good big bro. Good big bro. Good big bro. I love it. I love it, guys. All right, guys. This is not your usual pod. We're not gonna talk about current events. We're not gonna talk about like just random things. We're actually just gonna speak on a movie. Not even a movie franchise. One of the biggest movie franchises ever, and that is the Rocky series. And not only is a Rocky series just have great stories, great plots, a few bumps on the road, but for the most part, just great direction and great storytelling. Especially those first two movies, the fourth and Rocky Balboa. Those are really highlights to me. And one of the things that I've gathered from these movies is also how it mirrors, put the boxing aside, it just mirrors a man's journey and different stages through life because you go through the man when he's at rock bottom and he's just living a regular life with and still has hopes and dreams. Then you go to a man that has reached those hopes and dreams out of a miracle and hard work. Luck and hard work met each other halfway for him. And then you see that you see him finally make it. You see him gain a partner, a wife, somebody to trust. You see him have a child, and then in the third movie, you see him with all these success. And so, in all of these movies, it's just about the different stages and different mindsets that a man goes through in his life. And so, I think to a lot of people, it's deeper than a boxing movie because boxing is a form of combat. It's a form of fighting, and fighting can be metaphorical to anything, like fighting for your day, fighting for your house, like your household, like fighting for your wife, fighting for your children, fighting to just get up and do work. The different types of fight, and sometimes people, use Rocky as motivation to actually fight and fight boxing, fight MMA, fight kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever it is. People get inspired off of this movie. So I just want to put that. I just want to give that introduction before we get started. So I want to give Kevin the floor on like how he views Rocky and how and like the artistry behind it and what he's gathered from those movies. So go ahead, brother. The floor is yours. And energy up, energy up. Remember, you got people listening.
Yes, sir. Nah, yeah, 100%, man. I freaking love this franchise 100%. Definitely made an impact on my life, especially this is one introduction. Not only that you did an introduction with me, but also our father did previously. So it's just definitely hits close to the heart. Very cuts very deep to the bone, like how significant these messages are. Because it's not only that he instilled these lies within his version of it, but then you see where he got majority of these messages that he was trying to instill into us as men. And I see the reflection of the movies with life itself, me living as a man. Like, for example, I want to say that whole Rocky one, that's what I'm gonna focus on right now. You see as a man who is just currently basically in the slums, just fighting to make ends meet, and he's not making much. You see him. You see he's literally just talking to his opponent afterwards, like, "Hey, good fight, yeah, you too, man." And they're both getting a cut of whatever the payment was that night. Then, lo and behold, luck falls upon him, and the opportunity comes that he's going to fight the world champion just because Apollo wants to give the man a title shot, just because he wants to be American, the American dream, which is like honestly something that we should inspire for. Like, not take the American dream like for its value, but like what it means metaphorically. Like, we all have dreams, aspirations, and things we want to chase after. Like, sometimes life is not gonna present that to itself without us doing hard work and dedication. Because I love the way you phrased Rocky 2 in both luck and hard work met halfway for Rocky, because it's true. Sometimes you got to be at the right place at the right time for something to occur. But if you're at the right place at the right time and you had no hard work done, you're just someone who just wants to do something without putting in anything worth it. You have to put hours into any craft of any caliber, and you have to just perfect it to something that you want to achieve a dream with. Like, and it could come on to anything, whether you want to be a software programmer and you want to create the next software that's going to break through technology, or you want to be a fighter who hasn't perfected this certain kick or this technique that you've been driving hours yourself on how to do it. It's just a matter of you keep putting that effort. Eventually you're going to get it. And that's what Rocky showed. Like, you put the hard work. He wanted to go the distance. That's the one thing he said. That's the one thing that stuck to me in Rocky 1, is that one scene the day before the fight or the day after the fight. He
With
just
Adrian?
wakes up with Adrian. Yeah, bro. Like, it's such an impactful scene. He wakes up. He's like, I don't care about winning. I don't care about losing. I just want to show everybody that I could go the distance, that I can go against the world champion, a man like me, and still show the world that I can fight. And lo and behold, Rocky goes the distance. He shows against all odds.
Kev?
Kevin?
All right, we're having a wee bit of technical difficulties. We're just going to give Kevin a second to come back.
Quick, run the ads.
Run the ads. All right, so basically, Kevin was saying about beating the odds, right? It's 11-11. That's funny. But yeah, just to touch on what Kevin said so far. Rocky is great, not only because it has a great plot, or not only because of the story it tries to tell, but also because of the intimate moments it has, not like the intimate moments it has with the audience. Not only are Rocky and Adrian or Rocky and Mickey having a close soft moment, but you're also sharing that with the audience. So the audience feels what Rocky is going through. And not only that, because the story of struggle and being in love and going for a goal is so relatable that it's just the most beautiful, poetic, like, offering to manhood. and just to the struggle to success as well. But Kev, are you back?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Uh, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. No, I was just trying to like carry the show on until you came back.
Yeah.
So you were saying about him beating the odds.
Yeah, just basically beating the odds and accomplishing just whatever you put yourself. Like realize the goal is to win the belt, right? But that wasn't Rocky's goal. Rocky himself, he set himself a goal. He wanted to prove to the world that he can go the distance. So that's what you yourself have to do. You have to set yourself a goal that you're going to achieve eventually. And it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in a minute. It's not going to happen in an hour. Who God knows when it's going to happen. Only the universe knows when that moment's going to occur for you. But you have to work at it, just like Rocky did. And that's the one thing I took out of the first movie.
Yeah, the first movie, what I took out of it was really, to me it was like, and like I said before, like it's like, man, I'm trying to find the word. It's like it's a dedication to. It's like the most beautiful offering to manhood, artistic offering to like what a man has to go through, you know, and just to tie it all to like just to like even mirror it, because at first Rocky gets a chance, and at first he just wants to go the distance, and it's not even winning that's important to him. It's him as a man measuring himself to the greatest of all time in something that he's decent at. He just wants to measure himself against the greatest. And that's something that I feel like all of us as men do. We look at the most successful people in whatever field we want to go into, or we look at whoever inspires us and we see greatness, and we always want to, like, we always wonder or fascinate, where do we align ourselves with that greatness? And so for Rocky, his only goal was to go the full, what is it? I think 15 rounds, because it's heavyweight and it's back then. And he wants to go the full 15 rounds with Apollo Creed. So he's not even thinking about winning, because he's like, okay, that's not an option. This is the greatest of all time. I just have to do this. I just have to survive, and I want to fight him. I want to give him my best, because that, as a man, it gives you something that you could live with, you know. And at the end of the day, for a man, it's not about the money. It's not about all the women, because Rocky shows you he doesn't have all the money, and he also shows you he doesn't get all the women. He goes for one, right? And it just shows that being a man is about just action. And that's what Rocky taught me. It's just about doing it and testing yourself, being uncomfortable. You know, where do you stand amongst these? Like, I'm only going to get this one opportunity to do this. Why not make the most out of it? And at the end, like, I saw this on a YouTube video one time, that Rocky's not really a boxing movie. It's a love story. Boxing is just what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it like that,
it's true.
like, oh, you know, not only is Rocky dealing with the sport he loves, he's dealing with finding love in someone else, with someone else, somebody who's compatible with his character. And then you start seeing the love unravel. Him no matter what he has or what he doesn't have, he still seeks the opportunity to love. And I think at the end of the day, that love was strong enough that it allowed him to go to distance. So I don't think it's only him testing himself as a man, but also what a woman can do for a man. Not for a man, but what a woman can do partnered with a man, and how she can make the man greater than what he already is. Because when you have that confidence of going home to somebody who loves you no matter what, whether you win or lose, at that point it doesn't even matter to them. So you have that safety net of having to go back to somebody you love. So it's a beautiful contrast of how you deal with the things you love. When you love a woman, you respect her. You treat her like she's your world. You get to know her, and you really nurture her and love her, and she'll give that back to you. But it also shows when you love and you have a passion for something, for a drive for something as well, right? That you also gotta show love. Love gets shown differently, so now for that you got to work hard. You got to punch. You got to punch your stakes. You got to train brutally hard to show your love for the sport. And it's showing love in two different forms. And that's the beautiful aspect about Rocky 1, that it's not really a story about a man that wants to fight the greatest and win. It's a story about a man with everything against him. How much will he stand up to, and how and nothing has stopped him from even loving. And that's the beautiful part of it, that no matter how broke or where he was in life, it didn't stop him from loving. And I think that's the key part of this in a manhood's journey, that I think a lot of us men feel like, oh, we should be, ready to go, ready to provide, and then we're once we're millionaires, we pick out whatever woman we want. Sometimes you just got to shoot your shot even when you're broke, and sometimes, because you never know what kind of partner you'll get that might bring out the best in you. You might be missing out just trying to get rich on yourself, that you might be missing out on a partner. So I think what I got from Rocky 1 is a love story, and how love transitions into different places like differently. And that's the beauty and art of it, bro. Like it's so beautiful that like you find more things as you go. But I'm tired of talking. That's my take on Rocky 1.
No, I was just gonna write out that one point that you're saying about finding the love, because it's kind of true what we were saying. Because I recall, like, aside from the romantic side with Adrian, this is the love of like a fatherhood figure with Mickey. And I recall,
Mickey. Yes, you're right.
I also recall like the one scene
Another
where
form of
Mickey,
love.
yeah, when Mickey
Exactly, you're
comes
right.
to extend his wisdom to him, I'm like, hey, I could be your trainer, I can train you and all this. And Rocky at first was very resentful because Mick didn't give him the attention like that at first. But now that he has a title shot, now Rocky's like, oh, now you want to come in and be in my corner. Now you want to come and help me, this and that. But at the same time, Mick is coming in from a genuine standpoint where it's like, listen, kid, I've been in your shoes. Like I've had my shot and I fucked up. Like I don't want that happening to you now that I've seen it happening. Like let me guide you. Let me show you the works that'll break that through. And then like they develop this like very beautiful father-son relationship. Like one thing that I do recall from aside from the Rocky 1 movies, but I'm still tied into that area with Rocky 2. I think it's in Rocky 4 or in Balboa when he goes back to Mick's gym when it's already torn down, and he has a flashback.
Oh, it's Rocky 5.
Rocky 5. All right, so they have a flashback of them together, and literally it's Mick like showing like, kid, I'm gonna give you the cufflink, like Rocky Marciano's cufflink, yeah. So seeing that showed like how much like they love for each other, showing that Rock was very dedicated. Like I also see that reflection with like Mike Tyson and Gus, to be honest, in real
and
life.
Gus and Customato, yep.
Yeah, like that's the one thing that I see. Like it's like, oh, it's really cool that we have Rocky's movie interpretation, but then there's also a real life interpretation. With
It played out, yeah.
Exactly.
And it's funny because Rocky came out before
Mike Tyson's time.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's funny because
what do you think?
then
What do you
Mike,
think, Raj?
yeah, right, Raj.
Wow, that conversation was powerful.
Bro, just like I'm the
Beautiful
audience
points
right
all
now.
around. Like, yo, I'm the audience, bro. No, I'm just sitting back because you know what? You guys put out so many like valid points through that and through all of like the Rocky movies. Because again, you're right, Jay. It is a love story. It is something that a lot of people kind of like miss because they're all hyped about what Rocky's gonna do, what he's gonna achieve, what he's gonna start doing. But you know, really, at the end of the day, it wasn't really all about boxing. It was about him just trying to provide and survive. That was the easiest thing because he knew he could fight, and he thought he was a tough guy for the most part, and he thought he could make that happen. Which, Kev, you're also right. It's kind of like a father figure movie. You kind of come around, you know, that whole relationship with him and Mick, always constantly like the hard training, the passed down wisdom, everything down to like a nitty gritty. You know what I think you're both forgetting about? You're both forgetting about, and again,
I think I know where Roger's going with this.
Right off the bat.
I think I know where Roger's going with this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, you know, we all have to remember he's given everybody the real life man stand perspective of how hard it was back in those times, bro. Like there wasn't just like an abundance of jobs and
time period,
like work that was just handing out left and right. These were like really like hard times like that. It was supposed to give you the perspective that life's a fight. You're supposed to be constantly in a grind, constantly working, constantly trying to work towards something new, something different, something better. Who knew? Life was infinite back then. Like think about it. If you think about like we'll say 10 years ago, what was going on? What wasn't going on back then that's going on now? Like what are we missing from 10 years ago that is happening now?
Majority of the esports
that you couldn't live without, or you couldn't think about.
Majority of the esports that's out right now is one thing I could think of in the top of my head. A lot of the content being
big time gaming.
A lot of content being
a lot of content creation.
Exactly.
TikTok.
You know, like these are all things that like you know like people kind of like take for granted and then use on a daily and don't realize, damn,
I could be making money off of this. How long has it been
since I thought of this? Yeah, or you know,
the opposite, yeah.
You know, you kind of like exactly, or you know, this is like these are things we don't think about. Like, think about how long it's been since that we've had like YouTube. Think about how long YouTube's been around. Do you think you can live with a life without YouTube nowadays?
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't know. That's kind of hard.
No. Honestly, like, but think about it. Like, think about all the shit you look up on YouTube on a daily.
That's true.
Like, you think you could like pass off that and then like not have the entertainment value or like
at least the knowledge.
I don't know, like our streaming services.
Nah, I feel you.
Or the streaming services that we have. You know, like this is a lot of things that you know people take for granted nowadays. Back then, there was none of that. So you know, it was
like, less opportunity.
There was nothing to.
He really had to fight. Exactly. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, bro. Like it's all a buildup. It's truly a perspective of what it's supposed to be a real life.
Not because like, my bad, Roger. I didn't mean to cut you up because you're right. Because Kevin, if you remember what was Rocky's job, he was a loan shark. He was he was like a what was it, a late breaker, whatever it was. I think he used to get the money from people who were late paying the mob guy. So he was the collector. You know, so he did whatever he could to provide, and that's a good point, Raj, because it was different times. It was a time period thing. So either he had to. Think about it. There was that scene in the skating rink, Kev. He's like, "Why do you want to box? Because I can't sing your dance." Hey, yo. Remember, because he can't sing or dance. So he's either in the streets or he's fighting. That's a good point, Raj. His time period has a lot to do with what Rocky was going through as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also want to tie it in because I thought Roger was going to make this point. But it's also a story about when you're winning in life and you get faced with somebody who's hungrier who's hungrier than you because you already have everything. You're already the champ. And now you're getting faced with somebody who's hungrier than you, and you get faced with that opposition. And then you got to test your greatness against this guy. Is this a fluke or not? So this is also a story about greatness and how greatness can be challenged. AKA Apollo Creed. We're forgetting this is also an Apollo Creed story. And we forget that that's also a stage in a man's life when he's at his peak and he's at his greatness, but he loses his hunger, and then somebody hungrier than him comes and challenges him and gives him the run for his life. Because no matter how great you are, like it's hunger that's going to get you to the spot. So you could continue to be great if you continue to be hungry, but if you stop being hungry, then you stop being you. You stop being an essence of you falls apart. And I think that's what woke up in Apollo. And I think this is a perfect way to lead into the next movie, right?
Yeah. So Rocky 2, bro. What do we think about Rocky 2, guys?
Probably one of the best sequels to a movie ever.
Word.
Probably up there with Spider-Man 2.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it's Rocky 2, then Spider-Man 2, like a centimeter right under.
Sam Raimi, guys, by the way. Sam Raimi. Just clarify.
Yeah. Sam, we don't have to clarify that, Kev. When we say Spider-Man 2, best movie of all time, they know which Spider-Man 2 we're talking about.
Yeah, we gotta
bro.
think about the youngins, because I know the youngins are gonna come in and be like, yeah, they're talking about Tom.
No, we would have said Far From Home. No, we're saying Spider-Man 2. Fuck them young ass kids. Fuck them kids, bro.
Yeah.
And we've been canceled. Good night, everybody.
No, fuck them kids, bro.
Nah, but to be honest,
we're talking about Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man
yeah.
2. I was gonna say let's get back to Rocky 2. I was gonna ask, like,
Not a Marvel talk. Talk.
Next podcast. But I wanted to ask both of you guys, like, Rocky's 2, like a point about Rocky 2 that I want to say. Discovery of oneself, right? Because I feel like that was something that Rocky was doing. Because once he got all this money, he had to rediscover himself. Of like he was job searching and all that, right? Post his fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second point I want to make is how much love can be a double-edged sword. Because I feel like that time when Adrian fell ill, which is totally understandable. Everybody would be in Rocky's position. I would stop everything that I was doing if my partner is falling ill and be right by her side. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's always I don't know, this is just me thinking, like, love empowered me to be into this position. But has it hindered me to
as well.
Yeah, to continue what I normally do. So I want to think your aspects of those 2 points. So let's start with the discovery, guys.
I think it's less about discovery, and it's more about realizing. It's more. I think it's less about discovery, more about realization. I think Rocky went through so many things that he realized that he's like, yo, I'm not any of this. All of what I'm trying to be, because you make a good point, because I think the discovery and the love ties all together, because he was trying to discover a new thing because he loved Adrian so much, and she's the one that told him to stop fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? He loved her so much that he was willing to give up the one thing that he was decent at, like, that he saw greatness in. The one thing he had, he was willing to give it up because he loved her so much. Because that, as men, that's something you're willing to do. Okay, I need to be here for a long time. I want to create a family. Boxing's not the best suitable thing for that, because it risks my life. And Adrian understood that, and she cared about Rocky so much. So I think it was like a compromise. It's like, okay, Adrian, I tried to do this, and then remember, Rocky actually ends up getting a job at the butchery.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is, and back to Roger's point, because of the time period, he got let go because there was people there longer, and business was low, so they needed to get rid of people. And Rocky, unfortunately, was one of the newer employees, and they had to get rid of him. So it was like, it's funny, because that's also something that happens in real life when you want to go for something, it's like it goes to the saying, you have a plan and God laughs at you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Rocky had a plan about, you know, getting a job, doing this and doing that. And then what happens, he gets, like Destiny, he gets, you know, laid off the butcher job. And then what happens? Apollo Creed didn't win convincingly enough against Rocky. He wants a rematch. He wants to prove to the world that it was just a fluke, right? And so I think this was a realization for Rocky that this is who he is. This is who he always will be. And no matter how much he loves somebody else, now, and it's a metaphor because no matter how much, this goes for anybody, no matter how much you love anybody else, you can't risk who you are for that person. You can't get rid of that. You can't change who your essence is. If you're a good person, you got a good heart, and all you know how to do is fight, and that's the one thing you're good at, like, and that's your essence. That's who we've always been. Sometimes you can't sacrifice that for love. You got to know what to sacrifice and what not to sacrifice. And eventually, what happened is Rocky didn't want Adrian working because she ended up pregnant, right? So what happened is, because of the financial situations, Adrian had to pick a job back up, right? And what happened is Adrian was struggling. She realized she couldn't do it. She was getting in Rocky's head. Rocky wasn't training that much, and it goes to show the correlation between love and your mental state. And if your partner supports what you do, you'll be at 110%. Example given, Rocky won. If your partner is iffy about what you're doing and you're not getting that full support, you're going to get Rocky that was training with Mick, unmotivated, you know, not hungry. It's only up until the point. And it's funny because now it's a breaking point for both Rocky and Adrian. The same breaking point happened to both of them, right? Because if we look at it, Adrian's breaking point was when she had that hemorrhage in the pet store,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was that, like, watch.
That was
Okay,
a physical.
Adrian had the
That's the
hemorrhage.
physical. That's the physical
That's a
breaking point.
physical. Okay, go ahead. Listen. That's hemorrhage showing Adrian that she can't do this while she's pregnant. She's going to need Rocky to do what he loves, or else she's risking her family, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can't, like, so that's her breaking point. And that's what happened. That's probably what she thought when she went before she went into that coma. Rocky's breaking point was seeing Adrian like that.
Mental. Mm-hmm.
And how it destroyed him, and he's like, imagine seeing your wife on the verge of death, and she's the only thing you love in the world besides your kid, and she's on the verge of death. Imagine all the thoughts that must be flooding in your head.
Yeah, man.
So then the moment of realization for both of them, right? And not only Adrian and Rocky, because they were both stubborn. They were both trying to do things that they shouldn't have done. It was a constant battle against destiny. Out of love. Because, and think about the scene. She was holding the baby. She was looking at this baby, right? And she was like, I almost risked your life trying to change your father, you know? And I think mentally she had that realization, like, no, I have to let him be. You know, no matter if it risks his life, this is who he is. This is what he's good at. This is what's going to put food on the table. And if I love him, I'm going to write it out with him. So at the same time, Adrian had that realization, hey, I'm putting your life at risk. And I'm the one, and you're gonna do this fight anyway. Why am I getting in your head? And that's when the iconic scene, there's one thing I want you to do for me. And he's like, what is? Win. And then that's it. That's all Rocky needed to hear. Oh, you okay? Okay, I have my child. I have your full support. You're back. You want me to win? Say less. And that's when you get the iconic going a distance scene, bro. And after that, it's all said and done. And it's the beautiful. It's again amplifying what Rocky 1 has taught, the power of love. And now you got that amplified, because now the love is amplified because even though the kid doesn't know you, he loves you regardless because you're his father. So now it's amplified. Now there's this family of love, and then you got your wife's support, and you become an unstoppable force, which is what happened. He ended up winning, and he ended it with the yo Adrian, I did it, because at the end of the day, that was his motivation. That was on the tip of his mind. Adrian told me to win, and that's why he didn't. That's why in the first movie he went to distance, and all he wanted was to get back in the arms of the woman he loved. The second movie, he beat Apollo Creed, and he just wanted to tell the woman he loves that he did it, that he did what she told him to do. And it's a most beautiful way, because a man never wants a woman to tell him what to do, but when a woman tells him to do something that is in line with his goals, it becomes the most euphoric, beautiful thing ever. And that's why that movie is the best thing ever. Because then the movie 3 comes, and he loses the eye of the tiger. In the beginning, when he was when he was getting his drive, when he was proposing to Adrian, he proposed in front of a tiger. So it's just beautiful, cinematic, like metaphoric storytelling, direction, like acting, and the second movie just amplifies everything than the first was. And that's what I got to say. Like you guys could tell, like I'm pretty passionate about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, for someone who was tired of talking, me and Roger out here looking like the Michael Jackson meme, just hearing you rant. Raj?
Oh my God. Oh, I can speak. Hi, I'm Roger. Nice to meet everybody. No, but Jay, honestly, wow. Yo, Jay, honestly, I thought me and Kevin were pretty big Rocky fans. Yo, my boy here put Rocky on a golden pedestal and dust that shit every fucking hour.
You don't understand, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That was my shit.
Yo, I know. I feel your passion. Like, bro, you speaking about this movie is on another level. Because again, I've met a lot of people who have watched these movies back and forth, side to side, everything. But someone that taking a message like that, yo, bro.
One more thing I want to say, because I think I used to watch these a lot as a kid, and I just liked it for like the story, that like the surface story. But the more you watch it, the more you watch the details play out, and the more you watch, like the more you go through life, and then you put yourself in other people's shoes, and you're like, okay, this is so real. Like it feels so real. And the more you go through life, the more Rocky becomes tangible. And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. Because the more I watch it, the more I find things, and I'm like, wow, this is really poetic. Mm-hmm. It's really artistic, bro.
All right, so Broski, what do you think about the questions that I asked? How, just to remind you, discovery of oneself, realization, as Jay put it, and how the love hinders you but also empowers you.
Well, I can start with the love part very easily. Mm-hmm. It's something that, like you said, double-edged sword. There's never going to be a moment where it's going to be nothing but a good thing. Because if one of you is off, the other one's always going to be off. Mm. I mean, I'm probably gonna repeat probably a lot of what you guys said, because Jesus Christ, there was so much said, but I'm going to try my best. So the act when somebody finally commits to you is the scariest thing in the world, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, because now you have this person who's constantly looking to you, wanting to know what's going on with you, having to make decisions, having to make a life with you.
Feeling responsibility.
Yeah, it's the first real feel of like actual responsibility. Like, everyone gets their first pet. Everyone, has their first car, their first real job, mm-hmm. But like caring for another life that isn't like your mom at home, like that's a fucking whole other like ball game on its own, and then how Rocky and Adrian fucking went through their entire lives, like so far, like we're only on 2. So let's keep that in mind. and these two have gone through it more times than they should have already in like their so-called young days. And
their young
their
relationship.
struggles are, very young relationship. Like what in Rocky 2, they've only been dating like what, a year, right?
Yeah, a year or two. Yeah, a year. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So again, they're only still getting to know each other. Rocky's starting to see things that he didn't know Adrian was going to be like, and then also some of her family. Because remember, we get introduced to her brother at this point too.
Yeah, true.
And no, that wasn't any baggage that was originally obviously in that relationship, but now it's there. And remember, they live with him. So now that's other stuff that like starts like balling into like all this, And now that she's getting sick, and then with Rocky having to focus on what he's got to do for the big fight, and now Creed breathing down his neck, and now Mick breathing down his neck. It's a lot of stress at one point, And granted, these are all people who minus Creed at the time. They all that all loved Rocky, and they're all like just like jumping at him one after another. So it comes to say that love can be very powerful, but it could be the biggest weight you could also carry. It's how you handle the weight is how it really works.
Well, fucking said.
Like
and how they handle the weight they put on you.
Yeah, it's well fucking
exactly. Said. Like, look, it's one of those things where you're stuck in it, and oh man, I'm trying to like compose my thoughts. It's a lot of like back and forth, I guess, because some people are givers and some people are takers.
It's a relationship.
In this case, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like in this case, like Rocky at the end of the day, and again, I know it sounds fucked up, and again, I'm probably gonna get a little bit for this, but Rocky's really be the giver here. And Angie's really being like the taker right now, because like she
Adrian?
Yes. We I meant to say Adrian, sorry. I don't know why I said that. My bad. Adrian is being the taker, and I get it. They live in her brother's house, and they're housing them for now because they couldn't make ends meet at the moment. But Rocky's still out there trying to make his money, still taking care of the emotional support of both of them. And there was one point that after Adrian obviously got sick, that kind of brought his morale down, which started bringing up a lot of other things. And it's not her fault. Again, she was sick. It's supposed to show the realism of like a relationship where like things go back and forth, which is fine. But but finally at that one moment when he needed it, and she finally came to her realization and just told him the one thing he needed to hear, started every fucking circle that a man needs. It goes to show that we don't need a lot to go miles. Just simple encouragement goes fucking miles upon miles upon miles. Now, Discovery onto Rocky's entire thing. I mean, he was learning real quick that if he wanted this relationship or not. That was something that happened for a little bit. Like if you guys, I don't know if you guys realized that, like somewhere like towards like the ending beginning / middle-ish of the movie. He was starting to question a few things. He had to go on his whole little soul journey for like what that whole thing with Mick and the meat locker.
No, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he wanted Adrian. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, elaborate.
Yeah.
No, because like again, it was like you don't again when they.
She was pregnant. How could he? I don't think
bit.
he was questioning.
No. But that's what I'm saying. Like, didn't he find out after she was sick?
Nah.
No. I think you got the movie fucked up. It's okay, Papa. I was gonna say, because there's the contrast also between Mick's love for Rocky, right, Kev? Because that was a good point you brought up. Was it you, Kev, that brought up Mickey?
Yeah.
The father. Because any trainer could have gone up to Rocky and say, "Yo, Rock, like, hey, it could have came with bad intention. Could have the same relationship that Mick had with Rock, but it could have came with bad intention. Mick came with a good intention, and you could tell his good intentions because he was there for the good, and he was denying Rocky his training for the bad. Because remember how Rocky's eye was fucked up?
Yes, sir.
And Mick tested him. He's like, if I could slap you, if an old guy like me can slap you, what do you think Apollo's gonna do to you, bro? Like, are you crazy? And it took some convincing, but eventually Rocky got Mickey in there. But it goes to show that Mickey really cared about Rocky. That it wasn't he wasn't just there for the good. He was also there for the bad. And it also goes to show more because Mickey was there a lot for when Adrian was in the coma. And that's what I love. That's what I love about it, because he's just in the background, but it just makes it feel so real, because you're like, yeah, it makes sense, because
My
that's the
trainer
only
would
father
be
figure
there for
Rocky
me.
has. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. In real life, your trainer would be there with you, standing side by side for you in your struggles. Because that's the one thing, like, I always appreciated about Rocky. It always just showed a physical struggle, but it also showed the mental struggles.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I appreciate, because not a lot of people recognize the mental struggles. We're very quiet about it. And like, I feel like that's something we should turn around as a society. Like, we should open up to each other and like really try to solve our mental problems with one. Even if it's a small little thing, like, you don't know how far we can do of just talking. Because just talking out loud, you discover the answer while talking about the problem sometimes. Like, that's happened to me dozens of times, bro.
Yeah, you got a point. Raj, you got anything else?
No, I got the movie fucked up. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I knew. Oh, yeah, you know what's funny is I knew he was gonna say that. Like I knew, like I just saw it coming. Like I'm like, oh, he actually said it. He actually said it. Hey, it's not my fault. You got the movie fucked up. You got the movie fucked up. You got the movie fucked up. Don't look at me.
No, I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was just telling you I did. I genuinely did.
Oh, okay. I think
honestly,
maybe you're confusing with the first one. There was like bits and parts that I think you were confusing with the first one, and you were intertwining them. I feel you. Yeah, because because those two movies kind of like meshed together in my head when I was a kid, and so I didn't know which one I was watching. Like, am I watching two or am I watching one? Because it just kind of like meshed well together. I don't know how to put that, but yeah. So I think now this second story is less about Apollo Creed, and because he you could tell because he also had less camera time. He was more about being the heel for Rocky. I think Apollo Creed gets more, like, he's a great character, and he gets more into depth as a character in the next two movies. I think for sure.
100%.
I think in the net. Yeah, 100% in 3. Yeah, he gets more and more depth. I think the biggest thing about 3, and we shouldn't stay on 3 too long, because 1 and 2 deserve the time we spent on it. But 3, I think the big topic of it was having things to lose and the fear of it.
Oh my god, so relatable right now.
And the fear that goes with that, and how that fear, when you have things to lose that you didn't have before and it's all new, how that fear can be destabilizing and crumbling as a man. And so whoever wants to touch on it, if you don't got the movie fucked up.
See, now you're twisting the knife.
Now you're twisting the knife.
I love this man.
All right, now you're twisting the knife.
See, and then now he don't want to be salty about it, and then he does this shit. See, there's a good side of comedy and there's a bad side of comedy. I'm about to shit on this man's entire parade.
Alright.
All right.
So we're talking about 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, we're talking about 3.
Lead off, Raj.
Okay, so 3. So
well, the main thing about fear is the main thing about 3 is the fear of losing it all. But also, like, what did you take from it?
I mean, I don't think it's just fear, but also
the 3 is very self-explanatory.
Go.
Again,
I think it
3
is.
is super self-explanatory.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm scared.
It's fear.
Yeah.
It's fear. It's genuinely fear. Like, there's nothing else to it. Rocky's on top, and for once in his life, he doesn't know what to do because he's never been there.
Exactly.
So, I mean, to understand what it is to have everything that he had at that moment is very odd to him. So it's very foreign. Other than that, I mean, like, that was, I guess, Rocky's first real challenge outside of, obviously, Creed, because, again, They didn't mention anything about title, any like defending title fights, right? It was only just with
It's
this
only
guy.
Clubber
No,
Lang.
no, he
Yeah.
was. No,
It
no,
was
no, but he
no,
was.
it was
Clubber
in the
Lang,
beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, he was defending the multiple titles, and then it gets to Clubber Lang.
And then
Yeah.
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And then
okay,
Clubber
so-
Lang takes the title away from him,
Exactly.
Yes.
and then they get the
Yeah,
rematch
that's what
for
I'm
the
saying,
title
so, like-
again. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like besides Clubber Lang, like there was no mentions
Yeah.
of Rocky struggling or anything else before. And then somebody again, it goes back to what Jay said. Someone hungrier finally came in,
Yeah.
stole his shit from him.
Yep.
And then that was it.
It
was
happened
just a
to
full
him,
circle.
and it happened to
'Cause
Rocky.
now
Yep.
Rocky
shit,
got hungry.
And I can't. Yeah. Good.
That's all
Good.
it
Good
is, bro.
tie-in. And I can't take anything. But there's one huge point that you guys are not realizing. It ties into the fear, and it causes the fear. But I feel like it's more important than the fear because it wouldn't have happened without it. Mickey's death.
Spit it out.
The death of Mickey, a father figure, someone who instilled confidence, someone who was not only, like, think about it, as someone who is a cornerman and a boxer. That's your brain right there, man. That's literally the guy watching you and your perspective. He's like, all right, listen, I know how you're feeling. I see how you're stiff. I know how you're moving. Like, try this to loosen you up, this and that. Like, that's a huge impact on Rock that causes all this fear. Because this is just my personal experience. I feel like if Mick was still well and alive during the time to go get Clubber Lang, Rocky wouldn't have been as afraid because Mick would have realized, okay, Rock lost from this fight. He's not hungry. We need to make him hungry again. And then that's when I could see Mick is like, there was only one person who made you hungry in your life, and we're gonna use that same person to do it again. Bam, Mickey brings in Apollo Creed. Like I could see that being played out. I could see it, but it's again like Rocky dealing with that, and it's one thing that even Apollo mentions in a few times. It was like, Rock, I know Mickey had to do with just messing in your head, but God damn it, there is no tomorrow, which is one point that I appreciate it. Like it's right now that you have to get into the
That was
grind.
one of those key moments from that movie. Yeah, for sure.
So it was, like I feel like you're correct. 100% can't take away fear is the main thing, but I feel like it's also the way of dealing with the trauma of a death of a loved one. I'll make a battery switch real quick.
You see, like I would agree with you. I do agree with you. Like because that was heavy on Rock, but I don't think. I think it was a sign of that he was able to lose things. I think it affected him in that way, right? And the trauma that it was. Oh my God, like I can like lose things, and Mickey was a sign of that. But I also think that Mickey loved him so much, and he was trying to protect him so much that it kind of hindered Rocky's hunger. And what I mean is that a lot of the title fights that Rocky was getting, Mickey was handpicking them to fit Rocky's style, where Rocky could get the best of whoever he was defending the title against. And Mickey did that. And all this time, Rocky thought that he was facing the best, that he was just outclassing the highest class of boxer, but this whole time Mickey was handpicking the fights for him. And when it came down to fight Clubber Lang, Mr. T's character, Mickey was the one that instilled that insecurity and doubt in Rocky when he said, "Nah, you can't fight him. Like he's an animal. He'll destroy you. He's a monster." You know, and he was like, "No, you can't do it. I won't be a part of it." Like he's like, at my old age, like my heart can't take it anymore. If you're gonna do this, I can't. But like, I feel like that voice echoed into Rocky's doubt, right? Rocky's like insecurities, because Mickey. Damn, I want Kevin to be here. Yo, Kevin, are you here?
I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
listening to you.
All right, my bad. I didn't know if you did the battery switch.
Yeah, I did a battery switch.
No,
Go.
all right, my bad. No, because now, like, because so I think I think it's not a like. I think he was ready to lose Mick just because of Mick's old age. Like I feel like he was more ready because Mick was old. I, I, I think I think that Rocky, what more affected him was the echoes of what Mickey left him behind with, and which was like handpicked battles because he knew that Rocky couldn't handle this guy. He didn't want to fight this guy, and then it was like a cocktail of like of variables that happened to Rocky where it caused him to lose that fight against Clubber Lang. Because remember, in the fight, uh, Clubber Lang was already in Rocky's head since when he said that thing about Adrian. Then Mickey gets a heart attack, so Rocky goes in the ring without his trainer. Already, like that loss is affecting him, right? Like you said, Kev. That's why I kind of agree with you because it is affecting him, and this is his trainer and guidance and everything. So, but that trainer and guidance and having that guidance also hindered him because that guidance, the one he looked up to believe in him, didn't believe in him enough to give him to give him the fights that people that like to give him the best of the best. He wasn't going against best of the best. So then, and that in return, after Mick's death, I feel sat in with Rocky because it all felt fake to him. Now, the fear is not like scared of Clubber Lang. I feel like it's more fear, like the little branches of fear, like doubt, insecurity, because he got handpicked fights. So that's why it ties to with Adrian, because now he lost Mickey, and that's why I agree with you, Kev, because he lost Mickey. He realizes he could lose all of the money, his wife, his kids, all of that, and and if he keeps fighting and keeps losing, and just if he feels he doesn't have it anymore, he's afraid. And that's the big breakthrough that Rocky had, and that's when Adrian and Rocky had that scene. He's like, "You want to know the truth?" It's like, "I'm afraid." But then it's like love conquers all. Now Adrian has developed also like a strong character, has developed from that shy, timid girl who now has like mother strength. You know, like that mother endurance, who has that mother tendency now. Now she is more vocal. She's more assertive with her words. And so that's what Rocky needs. You see, so it's like as Rocky develops, all Adrian is also developing in the relationship, and then that love comes together along with Apollo Creed's training. But even the training before that, Rocky wasn't doing it until he had that centering again with Adrian, and it revolves around that love again and that centering and that being in that unison with your partner that like gives you that clear level-headedness.
Yeah, because Adrian checked him, like straight up.
Adrian checked him. Adrian checked him, and that wasn't of Adrian, and that's why I like the movies, because they developed her into that character.
Mm-hmm.
Because now she's a mother. You feel me? She's older. She's been through more money. She's been through more things, more people. She sees how they treated Rocky. Oh, Rocky has to read now, and then so they both bettered each other. Yeah, she definitely checked him. You remember what she said?
I remember a lot what she said. What specifically are you referring to?
No, when she checked him.
Oh no, I mean, and personally, I'm saying she checked him and everything. Like for example, the one thing that I do recall is her telling him, yeah, Mickey did what she reinforcing Mickey, like Mickey did what I had to do to protect him. You know, he was just handpicking those fights because he loved you, because he knew it was good for you. It wasn't not just to take it out of him. So it was one of those things where it's like she like that doubt, right? I feel like that was instilled, also got eliminated with also Adrian saying all that. Like
with Adrian,
yeah, because she's like, yeah, look, Mickey did this not to make you weak. Mickey did this out of love for you, because he saw that you were a champion. So you had to be a champion. So he made sure that you were a champion through and through. And so like that was something that like and it's funny how you mentioned like how they also better each other, because yeah, like I do remember like Rocky's now fluent in his speaking. In my opinion, he's in the greatest shape of his life in 3, right? Sylvester Stallone, I believe, like he was in the greatest shape of his life in 3, right? Or was it?
Yeah, he was doing
before?
Rambo at that time. Yeah, no, it was 3. It was
It
3.
was 3, right? Yeah. So yeah, you were
Mhm.
saying like he's doing Rambo at the time, so that man looked incredible, bro.
He looked shredded.
Yeah,
Shredded.
bro. That's
Yeah.
that. I think feel like every man, like they look at Rocky, they're like, "Yep, that's the physique I gotta get one day." Like
Yeah,
that, or
that
that,
we look at Rocky
or
3, they look like, yep.
that, and what is it? Brad Pitt's Fight Club. Like that's another one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what do
But you
think,
make a
Raj?
good point because then they highlight that at the end of the match because he's been training with Apollo Creed.
Yep.
They're like, hey, Rocky
Mhm.
looks a little bit slimmer and a bit it looks a little bit more toned.
Well, my opinion on Sylvester Stallone's
Body? No.
physique in Rocky 3.
No.
I was gonna say, I was like, bro, that was like the focal point for what it sounded like.
Just Rocky 3 in general.
Bro, I think it was well crafted. It was something that was needed, I guess, for the series to kind of go on properly, because
I agree with that.
everyone's sick and tired of watching the consecutive. Oh, protagonist
ask more
wins. Protagonist
specifically?
wins. Oh, look, protagonist
Can I
wins.
ask more specifically? Because I know, like Jay, I know me and you have this, but I feel like Roger would understand this more just because I'm gonna say it. How do you feel as the rival? Because me and you have this rival. How do you feel as the rival of Apollo's and like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get
Man.
back. Like, what's your opinion? What's your opinion on this? Go ahead.
Yo, honestly, I thought Clubber Lang was gonna come up somewhere in the middle of the next Rock. To be honest with you, like when it was first announced, I thought that was gonna be the big comeback. Like he was gonna come back, he was gonna have another debut fight or something. He was gonna have some fun with it, and then the next challenger comes in. I thought it was gonna be like some One Piece shit where like, okay, somebody got fucked up. Okay, now you're part of my crew, kind of thing. Because like again, it happened with Creed. I thought Clubber Lang was gonna become like a sparring partner or something for him, like to keep practicing with, like eventually. As to like his view and perspective on that, like what happened. I mean, I don't know. If you're going off of stats and stuff like that, I feel like Clubber Lang obviously had it.
No, bro. I'm referring to Apollo. No. I'm referring to Apollo and Rockies.
I think Apollo got to a comfortable stage, right? I think Apollo got to a really comfortable stage, like where Rocky ended up, and he sees that in Rocky, and then there's an important line in that movie. He's like, "You had the edge, man. Who knows? Maybe we can get it back together," because that's also golden rule in life, right? If has anybody heard of the saying, "Iron sharpens iron"?
Yeah.
I think that's what Apollo was trying to create with Rock. Like he saw that Rock just lost his trainer, just lost a fight, and Apollo Creed, because he fought Rocky and he respects him so much as a fighter, he gained that respect in the ring with him, that he went out and found Rocky because he felt like he was missing that too. He was talking about it. He's like, man, when you beat me, I didn't have the eye of the tiger. He's like, I just didn't have that edge, man. But you had it, and now you lost it. And and he hasn't gotten back into the ring, so he hasn't had. So, like as a rival, I think Apollo was like, hey, this is my opportunity to make a friend and help this guy out because I respect him as a fighter, but also, because nobody does anything without it in some form or shape equally benefiting himself. I also think that was something for Apollo as well as a rival, because it's like, okay, now you're hungry, and you hungry is making me hungry, just like Goku and Vegeta. And I think that's the type of relationship that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And if you end up watching the Creed movies later, when Rocky and Apollo fought, which Rocky was at his best, he was hungry again, and Apollo had just reignited it from training Rocky. If you watch Creed, Apollo ended up winning that secret fight, that third fight.
Yes, sir.
So it just goes to show that Apollo was still hungry. He got that hunger back, and he fought. And I love the beauty of it. Because it's just the story, and it's so real, and it's so tangible that it ties all well together. So I think that was Apollo's perspective. Is like, all right, not only am I going to get this man back, but by me getting this man back, he's going to get me back to where I was. And then from then on, it's just just a synchronicity effect. You feel me? A synchronization between them, and that's what made their friendship and their bond strong.
I feel you, bro. Yeah, I completely agree with you with that.
All right, now 4 we don't have to spend too much time on because 4 is just great because you know what it is.
It's classic
Creed
moments.
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, man, I
Creed
hate
dies.
that.
You know,
We get
in
the
Rocky's
iconic he
hands.
dies, he dies.
You get the iconic. He dies. He dies. Bro, every movie has had something iconic. There is no tomorrow. Win, Rocky. Yeah, and there's like so many. And then there's so many iconic moments in all the movies, bro. And yeah, so the fourth one, like I loved it because it was political. I loved it because like it went against all odds. Like Rocky, he he fought this guy because he killed his arguably his best friend. I don't know if Rocky even had friends besides Paulie, but that was his brother-in-law.
Mhm.
So it basically killed his best friend. So I don't know if you guys want to spend too much time on it, but like it was just one of the great movies and one of the best training montages ever.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. Yeah, because I love the whole nature versus machine. Like, I love that shit. That was such
That's
a
a
cool
good.
aspect.
That's a good. Yeah.
Because I agree with Rocky's training regimen. I prefer the nature training. One thing that always instilled in me as a younging. I was like, I could run in the treadmill for very long. He was like, yeah, but you got to do that in real life, though. And I was like, why? He goes, because if you do it in real life, it's a lot better than doing the treadmill. If you do it in real life, you'll do longer in the treadmill. I was like, oh, okay, that I understand. And dicho y hecho, bro. So true. Just because of like conditions, breathing, like especially what you're breathing at the same time. Like, you're inside of a gym, you're breathing other people's perspiration. You're also inhaling people's
You're inhaling air conditioner and all
air
that shit.
conditioning. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know what's going on in the gym and how thoroughly they're cleaning it. I hope that they're thoroughly cleaning it and whatnot. Um, Also the cleaning chemicals and whatnot. But then you got nature. You're running in a park. You got trees producing constant oxygen, and they're also eating all your carbon dioxide. So you're just chilling. So and it's in my opinion, I think it's way better just for the fact that you get the view, especially now since it's like October-ish. So you're getting like that fall weather trees. Like, everything's just orangish, yellowish. Leaves are falling everywhere. It looks nice.
Are you gonna tie this back in with Rocky or what?
No, I'm sorry. I just went on a tangent.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, all right. So Rocky. All right. Yeah, so yeah, Rocky 4. I love that. I love that too. That was one of the best things because it was also at that time period, Russia had the PEDs and I think we were like I think it was politically I think we were in the Cold War. I'm not sure. This I'm kind of stupid. I'm half retarded. Oh, there we go. I got canceled. But yeah, I think that was a great analogy for the time period it was into, like with that Russia USA tension. Um, because there was like but I like it because he also was getting injected with PEDs. Not Apollo, Ivan Drago. He was getting injected with steroids and shit, and it's funny because the name of the song is Hearts on Fire, and I think that's what won Rocky that fight against Ivan Drago is. It's not like before it was his soul, right? That he got his motivation from, but this one is his heart. I think he fought in this movie with his heart, and I think that's the first time he did that in the whole franchise because that one was personal. You feel me? It's not nobody hit Adrian, nobody did anything, nobody was personal with him. I don't think it was personal before he had to reach into the depths of his soul and come out with something new. I think this is the first time where Rocky fights with his heart, and that's why you get the song Hearts on Fire. You know, and I think that's a beautiful as I'm saying it, as I'm saying it, I'm realizing it, and it becomes more beautiful and more artistic in my mind. I'm like, shit, if that was done on purpose, like, because it just shows you, like, you could just tell, like, he fought with his heart in this movie. Like, he cried. There was no championship. You know, he just cried out of pure passion, bro. That's only something that happens when you're fighting with your heart, bro.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that Hearts on Fire was the song for this training month, or this movie in general. Yeah. All right, we skip Rocky 5 because you know the only good thing about Rocky 5 is that we tie it back, Kevin, because Rocky was wearing the cufflink. I don't know if you saw, he was wearing that cufflink that Mickey gave. He was wearing it in Rocky 4. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Rocky 5, I think the best part of that. Damn, I'm not gonna lie. No, like, Rocky 5 was a good movie. It just didn't have, like, it didn't have the flair about the other ones. It's just Rocky 5 was really just him finding his hunger through another boxer and realizing and projecting who he was onto that boxer, but realizing like, he's not me, and sometimes I can't project who I am to other people, and they're gonna be who they are. You get me? But he was also dealing with real shit, and Adrian was dealing with real shit. You know, like, they were dealing with what happens when a boxer takes so much damage. You know, and Rocky basically had brain damage during that shit, and that it was a fight with it being just being a man. You know, not being like, not going the distance, not testing yourself, just maintaining that essence of being a man. Because when he lost everything, he lost some money, like, he's losing everything around him. And how do you maintain the essence of a man when you're losing everything around you? And I think that's what that movie showed. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, but I remember it. But I didn't like it that much because
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't that. The only thing I like about it was more of the scene with his son. That I really appreciated that scene a lot.
yeah, that scene in the Mickey
So
scene,
words out of my mouth.
like, wake up, you son of a bitch, Mickey loves you. Yeah, that's the best thing about 5. Those are the better things, but yeah, not too much to talk about there. All right, now we get to a classic, because this is a stage, like, this is weird to talk about, because even the last 2 movies are weird. Like, well, the last 3 movies are weird to talk about. Well, even all of these movies are weird to talk about because I don't feel like we're anywhere there yet. Maybe the first 2 movies, maybe we're there, but now we're in a stage where Dad just was Kev, like, where I'm older, you know, like, maybe is there something still in there? And that's what Rocky had, and I think Rocky was in his 50s now, right? You know, and damn, that movie's a classic because I think that movie has the iconic him and his son scene. You know, like, Rocky Balboa, that one's the one. Like, with him and his son, he has the, like, let me tell you something you already know. The world's not all sunshine and rainbows. A very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is, bro. Like, I know that shit by heart, you know. So
I couldn't tell.
Like, that scene, that scene, bro. Like, fuck the movie. Like, they could have just played that scene, and I think that's enough. But I want to hear your guys' takes on Rocky Balboa. Is, like, Rocky Balboa fresh in your mind?
Yeah, for me
No.
it is. It's fresh for me because I always be watching clips of it. One other clip that I appreciate is Paulie and Rocky's scene when they're both reminiscing with each other. Like, they're both grieving about Adrian's death. Like, Paulie asked Rocky to live with him. Rocky's like, yeah, man, of course. You know, I also it shows, like, lives move on, and, like, both a brother and a husband are grieving over one person. So that's pretty dope. Um, I also like the message of the son, being very overshadowed by his father, and he's trying to make a name for himself, but he's so insecure about himself because of his father's name. Like, I appreciate that storyline because I feel like a lot of people do feel like that in real life. Like, and you shouldn't really feel like that, honestly. Like, you should take some sort of pride of the last name you have, regardless of your situation. And if you have no pride to taking it, then fuck it. Take your last name and start making something out of it to be prideful of. That way, your future children will look back on you and be like, yeah, I'm proud that dad made this my last name this, and this is what we made out of. So that's one thing I appreciate. Training montage, normal. Who's not gonna love the training montage? But I appreciate this one a little bit more because it's the last time we see Duke as a trainer. Because unfortunately, the actor did pass after this. So like, it was the last time you saw him.
Damn, no way, he did?
Yeah, that was the last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, after Balboa, we don't see him anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was like, no, why didn't bring Duke back? But now I get it. Because, for Creed.
Of course.
I was like, damn,
bro.
Creed, bro, Duke training Creed, bro, that would have been beautiful.
That's why I love when the son is, like, training him. That's why I love it. Yeah, but that's so it was the last time we see Duke as being a trainer, so I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I could tell. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, damn. Now I gotta appreciate it. Damn, I didn't know he died.
Yeah,
I did not know he died. Oh man. Yeah. And I think this is a stage in life that we're not in yet, that we won't be in for another 30 years.
From lens outside of the spectrum.
Another 20 years. Damn, another 20.
That's crazy, man.
God.
That's a half our lifetime,
yeah.
bro. Half our lifetime.
Yeah, bro. Jesus. So that's I think that's beautiful because now you're dealing with something that you don't know about. You feel me? Rocky's dealing with the bond with his son. Rocky's dealing with the loss of his wife. Rocky's dealing with old age. Rocky's dealing with, hey, maybe I still got a little something to offer. Am I crazy or maybe do I believe in myself that much? And it was a great and I feel like his son, the guy who played him, just perfect casting because it was just great contrast because that's kind of how you would feel as a son. If you grow up around your dad being that, and then he kind of falls into the shadows, but his name is still big, and then so they see your last name, Balboa. Oh fuck, he's the fighter's son, and he feels like everything he's gotten in life is because of his last name and not who he was. So when you kind of go about that, in life, your dad's identity becomes your identity, and then your identity is lost somewhere under the last name. And so I feel like this is a new territory for Rocky. This is things get rocky and things get rocky for Rocky, and then he tries to find love and shit, and it's just difficult for him because he's at an older age. It's not the same romanticism from before. There's even deeper things to deal with now. You know what I mean? And so I think that one is one we won't understand until we get that age, and it's like one last hurrah. And who knows what our last hurrah would be, but one last go at a thing that we feel we need to accomplish, and we'll never understand that. It might have been Rocky's midlife crisis. Who knows? Who knows what it might have been for him?
Right.
But even then, he was still the people's champ. He was still the people's champ, and and he was able to fight and go. And then look how it comes full circle. He went from wanting to go to distance to now winning the championship, to now defending the championship, to now getting the championship back, to then just fighting for your heart, to then fight to be a man, and then all to come full circle to prove again that you could go to distance. And that's beautiful, bro.
Mm-hmm. and that was Dad's generation's hero, in my opinion. That's who they look up to. They look at Sylvester Stone and like, man, this guy. This is what I aspire to be every day. A fighter. Wake up every day and get on my grind.
Yep.
And then we got our generation. Freaking.
They want to be TikTok stars. They want to be content creators. Everybody wants a fucking YouTube. Everybody wants a fucking podcast. Everybody wants to rap. Yeah, we doing it too, but we're fucking good at it.
I was gonna say how we got our generation, which is Michael B. Jordan. I don't know where you went off on that one. But okay, yeah, I was like, damn.
No, I was like, their generation. No, it is my hero is still Rocky Balboa. I don't know what you mean.
No, I mean, I
There
feel
ain't no
you,
fucking
bro.
Creed.
I saying I still aspire to Michael B. Jordan's Creed, man. The man's a freaking awesome performer. Movies, man. I love him in any movie he's in. He's really entertaining. But more especially Creed, just for the fact like it carries on that Rocky spirit. But like
that spirit is strong and yeah.
Oh my god.
It evolves it. Yeah.
So
bro, you that was a perfect explanation of it. Like it still carries the Rocky spirit, but it evolves it. It's the perfect explanation for what those movies are.
Because I just love how modern it is, bro. Like it feels like
I was gonna say it's so cinematic.
God.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's real life. Like, I could see myself like going to the gym and I see somebody like Michael B. Jordan's character, like Creed. I could see a Creed in a boxing gym. The way he talks, his mannerisms. Like one thing that I appreciate when he took the photo of the training regiment. And then Rocky's like, you don't need it. He's like, no, I got it in the cloud. He's like, in the cloud. And Rocky's just staring in the clouds. Yeah. And it's like, that's so relatable because you try to explain any type of technology to an older head. They're like, the fuck are you talking about?
¿Qué es eso? La nube?
La nube, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's like the one thing I appreciate. Also, like the music, like, it's everything from Kendrick to modern hip hop to rap to.
I think you're confusing. Kendrick was Black Panther. That was wrong. Michael B. Jordan movie. Kendrick was not in Creed.
No. Didn't he do the one song?
No, maybe. But I remember more Future.
When he's running. Isn't that Kendrick rapping? No, that's not. Am I confusing the rapper?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think I think it might be Meek Mill. The first movie? Yeah, Meek Mill.
It was Meek Mill? All right, my bad. That's me confusing the rapper. Sorry.
But because he was in Philadelphia. Meek Mill's from Philadelphia.
Okay. Makes sense.
So, it makes sense to, and I like it because the dirt bikes and all that is part of that Philadelphia culture as well. So they really put like the same thing that Rocky did and put the essence of Philadelphia in that time period is what Michael B. Jordan's doing in this time period and putting the essence of Philadelphia in that. And, another point about that movie is that not only is Rocky training the son of his best friend, but Rocky is now Mickey.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
he steps into the Mickey role, which is another phase of life that you see, which is why it's like a beautiful, it's a beautiful hymn to it's a beautiful offering to like what life is and life as a man is. Feel me? Because now he's taken into that sensei role, that master role that like I got tons of years of experience. I've done it myself. I've trained people. People have trained me. I've heard trainers from all over the place. I've experienced a fight myself. Like I'm gonna offer you everything I have because this is all I have left to give. I can't get in the ring and fight myself. What good is this knowledge if I don't pass it on? I feel like that's how you feel when you get to that master age. And so for him to become a Mickey, it's just more full circle for Rocky, but then it opens up a story for Adonis and it opens up this beautiful poetic thing because now Adonis's motivation is proving his name, and proving his name alongside with Rock. And not only that, but then Rock, right? He gets the chemo in the first one, right? He gets cancer in the first one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so one of my favorite scenes from Creed, bro, is dun, 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 and then he goes shadow box. He's like, what? He's like, you want me to get up and do it for you? No, no, no. He's like,
That's funny.
that scene is tangible. Like I'm saying, it's so like you said, it's so real. Because yeah, like if my trainer has cancer and we have that type of relationship, I'm gonna go to his chemo and fuck it, he wants me to work there, and if I could, and yeah. And it's just beautiful moments, like with the like it's real beautiful moments that are so tangible, like the moment with the nurse comes in and then he starts shadow boxing her, and then she puts her guard up and shadow boxes him a little, and they have that playful moment. I was like, I could see that. Like that is so perfect. And for Creed to and then Creed is trying to step out of his dad's shadow, Rocky Balboa, it same essence, but now he's also trying to make a name for himself, as well. So it's like he's trying to make a name for himself, but also carry on that legacy, and at the same time, and that's a difficult burden to handle. And I like it because it's giving Michael B. Jordan different burdens than Rocky had. You feel me? Rocky just wanted to go to distance. Adonis's thing is I want to make a name for myself.
Yeah, show who I am.
Exactly.
Roger,
did you see these movies?
I was gonna ask.
Creed, no. I
okay.
saw Creed 1, but that was it.
Oh, okay. Damn, man. I was gonna say because you're missing out on Creed 2, bro. Because that has this one fantastic scene, dog.
Bro.
You know what scene I'm talking about, Jay?
I mean,
there's a lot. Which one?
The one when
it's okay if it gets spoiled.
When Donnie's knocked out, and then he show the clip of Apollo. Oh, bro, that I get goosebumps every single time, bro. Every single time, like just the way they have it cinematic, like he's knocked out.
Then when he gets up,
yeah, bro, he has a snippet of like of his dad, bro, and then bam, he just like I think the announcer said. Adonis Creed got up like a ghost just possessed him, and like it's funny because it's kind of true at that moment. Like he saw his dad, so a ghost did possess him. Like, yo, you're a Creed, bro. Don't forget that. And then, as you were saying, bro, what's your name? That what's your name scene, Creed, and he's just screaming it, bro, like out of pride, man. It's just like. Very powerful, very emotional, man.
very emotional, yeah. It's funny because the announcer's saying that is like so tangible or real because there goes another example of art imitating life. Because I think Tyson Fury, when he was fighting Deontay Wilder and he got knocked out, and then one of the announcers said, it's like he's possessed. Like he just came back. He's like like some shit like that the announcer said. Because, bro, for like in boxing, especially like in heavyweight, like Deontay Wilder, bro, like he has a punch, bro, and he had a fight recently.
Knocks you out.
Where he didn't even cock his right hand back all the way back. He didn't even it was like a short distance right hand to the face, and it knocked old boy out. So imagine what Tyson Fury, when he had a full powered straight right left hand, knock him out. Imagine how he must have felt on the floor in that split second, like, yo, I just got the life beat out of me. But damn, am I gonna give up like this? It's like imagine where your mindset is, and then you got to get up and then do that shit. But yeah, man. But Creed though.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I agree with you. It is like you said, life imitating art. I also appreciate they're bringing back Drago. Continue that that rivalry lineage. Like we have some unsettled business to settle here.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube clip. I think it was a movie clip, like one of those big movie clip channels where they split the movie into clips. And one of the clips was, one of the clips was Rocky entering and meeting Drago for the first time. Since the since the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have like, and you could cut and like you could cut the tension with a knife, right? And these guys are like the best of friends in real life, right? Like they're great friends
Mm-hmm.
because they've done Expendable together, they've done all these movies together. But you, like between Rocky and Drago, you could like the characters, you could tell there's this tension, bro. And that I just want to showcase the acting to do that because for somebody to be your best friend and then for the camera to capture the tension like that with your friend through acting is something special. Not only that, but it's also the body language. Somebody pointed out in one of the YouTube clips that somebody said, I like how Rocky takes a seat at another table because even though he's willing to listen, it doesn't mean that everything is forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you
So,
saw how like when he walked in and saw Drago for the first time, like he sat in front of him. He sat to talk to him, but he didn't sit across from him at the table he sat at another table, like the table
so
right next to it. And like body language and all that is what makes a movie because it makes it real. That attention to detail and that direction is what makes it real. And that's what I love about those movies. Is like it's not just boxing movie. Like who cares like how fake the or how bad the boxing fighting scenes look. And they've gotten better over time, but it's more about like the acting in it. You feel me? Like the essence of it. Like how real can you make me believe that this is?
oh yeah,
And
100%.
and all Rocky movies have that, and it's
Even
up to the Creed ones.
I even appreciate Dolph Ziggler's comment in that scene. He was like,
The pictures,
yeah, the pictures. Like
the
I loved
pictures,
it.
the
Yeah,
pictures,
it's
the
like
pictures.
no pictures of us, and then he's like, yeah, there's no pictures of that. Like Rocky just strung it back, and I'm like, nigga, that was nothing.
Oh, and when he leaves and he sees Apollo's, he's like, "That's a
Oh man,
good picture,
yeah, bro, that
bro."
insult to the
All
womb.
right, yeah, bro.
Mm, bruh,
Which which
crazy.
leads which leads to our next conversation, which is all right. I think we gave enough time to Rocky. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful franchise, beautiful movies, beautiful direction. And I think we got to go with the current events now to tie into this. Kevin, you could go ahead and say it. You go ahead.
So this morning, reluctantly scrolling through IG,
Mm-hmm.
God blessed me, blessed us
Yes, sir.
with the announcement of March fucking 3rd, 2023, baby. Creed
Yes, sir.
motherfucking 3.
3, baby.
Oh
Let's
man, I have
go.
been dying for this freaking movie, bro. I swear to God, since this whole like talk about Rocky, the whole thing in the back of my mind
Yeah.
is
It's
I
like,
get
when's
to
Creed 3?
experience it
Yay.
again. Yeah. What's Creed
Yeah.
3? I get to experience it again in a cinematic setting because like unfortunately for me I experienced Creed 1 and 2 through DVD
At
or
home.
streaming. Yeah, exactly. So
Gotcha.
I never got to
Damn.
experience the like the theater experience of watching a Rocky movie. Now I'm blessed with able to see at least Creed 3. And from what the
Damn.
looks of it, it's looking great, man. Like
Yeah, bro.
got
I
the
think
actor.
Michael B. Jordan's directing.
Yep, he is directing. And recently in
Got
the little
King the Conqueror.
King the Conqueror. Yep, I was
Look,
gonna
he
say
looking like he about to
that.
conquer everything up in this bitch,
Everything,
bro.
bro.
Avengers better watch the fuck out. That man got 27-inch biceps, bro.
Straight up
Like,
Avenger level threat, bro. Straight up Avenger level
yeah,
threat.
that is an Avenger level threat. If I ever seen one for sure.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Jonathan Mayer, Jonathan Majors. Yeah, yeah, bro. His physique looks like incredible, bro. Like incredible for that movie, bro. And yeah, he just did a thing for Men's Health, dog. And one thing I don't want to happen, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I would hate if this turned into a Clubber Lang son not wanting to fight,
Oh
fucking Creed, because
man.
then it would just be going, all right, you're doing too much now. Like, what are the chances that all these people like just became boxers as well? You feel me?
hmm
So I hope it's not that. I hope it's something from where Adonis's early years when he fought or whatever. Like, because the poster said you can't run from your past, right?
hmm
So I'm hoping it's bringing back like somebody that he like in Creed 1 where he fought that kid in the fucking in the juvenile center.
Yeah.
I hope like maybe that kid picked up boxing and then now he's going for Adonis's ass.
Ooh, that would be a good way to
That
tie
would
it
be a
in.
good. You feel me?
Yeah.
That would be like it's not the greatest, but it would be something that I could I'll accept depending on how you do the story. You get me? Like I'll accept it. I just got to see what the story plays out. So that's one I thought of. Do you have any theories? Who could it be? You can't run from your past, that ass.
So this is like a long shot. I'm pretty sure it's definitely gonna get shot down, but I'm just throwing it up there just because it's in my head.
Go ahead.
Like Apollo did mention he had other kids.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So
I see what you. I thought about that too. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I'm not gonna lie.
That's just in my mind. That's in my mind floating around. Just saying, that's the only thing. I like your clever Lang. That's definitely like very, very, very like obvious past.
Yeah, but I don't want that to
You
happen.
don't think like anyone from Duke's side, right? Because we already know the son is the trainer, so we know that's
yeah.
out
The
of
son
the
is the
picture.
trainer, exactly.
Yes, we know that's out of the picture, but that's the only one. So I don't think that. Remember that. I think most likely they're gonna run with what you were saying, bro. Like, not gonna lie, it's either that or that long shot theory that I just mentioned. They have to do either of the two.
Yeah, because if you're saying you can't run from your past, that means that means it has to be something from the juvenile center. That's where I'm going with. Like if it's not that first fight where we saw him get picked up. Oh, maybe it might be that. It's like, oh, you fought me, and then you get rich, get picked up by your rich mama, and then you never get to fight me again. It's probably one of those things. So I see how it could be the juvenile center. You feel me? Like I'm leaning more towards that. You feel me? But if they go with none of the things that we said, then I'm happy because it's like, okay, it's from left field and I didn't see it coming.
Yep,
you know what I'm
able
saying?
to enjoy this as whatever they're presenting.
Yeah, I'm able to enjoy this. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Soundtrack looking good. I'm hoping it's gonna be good.
Oh, the soundtrack came out?
Yeah, they have leaks. You already know how that leakage is, bro.
Yes, sir. Wait, how long have we been recording for?
That is a good question. Let me check. Oh, damage to do that. There we go. We started at 10:56, so roughly we're shy of 2 hours. We're like 60 minutes away.
I mean, I think we covered a lot of Rocky shit. This was a Jay and Kev pod, bro. I feel bad. Raj, come back.
I'm still here.
I've been in the void of silence. Help.
I'm sorry, man. Honestly, like I'm sitting here and I guess I have to rewatch my movies. I guess I was unprepared for this time around.
No, you're good. You weren't unprepared. It was just I think it's just me and Kevin have been accidentally more prepared. That's what it is.
I just indulge in these movies, bro. That's just me.
Yeah, is we just indulge in the movies. So it's not really you being unprepared. It's just we've indulged in it. And I think
bro.
I think Kevin, I've helped you indulge into Rocky more, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's not even like purposely. Like you'll just send me like, oh man, I'm about to work out, and that's what I'm listening to. Okay, cool. And then I'm listening to it. And I'm like, makes me want to watch the movie. I'm gonna go watch the movie. Ends up watching the whole series. Or on some like, I want something to entertain me while I'm eating. Puts Rocky clips. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And yeah. It'd be the best motivational shit too.
100%.
But yeah, I don't want to get into this thread because I feel like the thread is very important to.
Yeah, if we expand on it, man, we'll be going crazy long with it. Pause.
Yeah.
I feel like we should say this for next.
Fucking yo.
Yeah, we should save this for the next week because next week will be a current events pod.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, maybe close this thing out. All right, maybe I'm gonna close this thing out. Any closing statements just about life in general, like the things that Rocky has mirrored with your life?
I
I'll
gotta
let you
watch more
guys have
Rocky movies. Apparently, I gotta watch more fucking Rocky because I don't know shit. Apparently, that's what I fucking learned. I fucking sat here for almost nearly an hour just hearing you two go back and forth, and I'm
It's like,
like,
that
man,
happened?
fuck,
Wait,
I'm in the
that
void.
happened?
I gotta see.
Wait.
Wait, what? That was for real? Wait. That's a real thing, right? Oh, wow, that's a real. Wow, that's all I got. If I would have gave any kind of statement, it would have been wow and oh really? It would have sounded like the
Really?
fucking background
Billy.
fucking of Billy, not really. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yo, look, Rocky movies, inspiring. They're great. They have lots of I feel like they still have a lot of value nowadays. You know, then they still have and later ones are late the newer ones, the later ones, doesn't matter which one you're watching, honestly, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, again, coming from someone who uncultured of it, apparently. But they have it's I think the movies are more meant there to be more of lessons than anything else. Because I feel like there's just so much knowledge there to be grasped and just, you know, constantly learn off of. You know, if they're there for entertainment, but they've put a very special place in a lot of people's hearts nowadays. Kevin, Jay.
My statement would be is what I've learned is going the distance, finding the love that complements you as a being, and that also complements them to grow. Grow together to understand the hardships of a family. Be there for each other for the times of grieving. Understanding love for what it comes, both the good and the bad. And always moving forward. That's what I've learned from watching the series. And with Creed, I'm hopeful and looking forward to whatever adventures Michael B. Jordan decides to bring to us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think Rocky is probably the best portrayal, the best artistic offering to what it is to experience life as just the mental parts of a regular man. Because maybe what Rocky goes through is maybe not relatable because, you know, it's a story, right? But the mental states, the 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 things that he goes through and things that he feels are very real. And Rocky is not like an example of how to handle it because there has been some things that he just handles wrong because he's a human being. It's not an example of how to handle it. It's an example of just handling it no matter what. You get me? It's just you got to do it. And whether you make the right decision or not, it's you got to make a decision. And that's what I feel this movie has brought into my life because it's like, okay, we all go through these things, you know, fear, doubts, insecurities, you know, vulnerable moments, love. We just want to be tested against the best, you know, all these things that he goes through. We're all going to go through them, and we have gone through them. And it's just a beautiful expression of what we go through as men as well. And that's what I take from it today. Before, it used to be an inspirational movie that I would use to motivate me to work out. Now it's a deeper movie with deeper meaning, and just I could see the love and the artistic passion that goes into making it now. Like just the realness of it. Like I could see it now, and I feel it, and you know, it changes your life for the better. Because you look at the journey and the ups and downs and how life goes and uh, the inevitable like vehicle of time. Time is a vehicle. It takes you places, but it's inevitable. And you see the journey of this man and you see like even the stages like we spoke about it, the stages, even the stages we haven't gone through yet, we see it in like dad, right, Kev, or we've seen it in other people, and older people when they go through their stages. So I just love it. I just love it for what it represents. It's motivation in the sense that you just got to do. That's the big key, and that's something I'm learning. That's something I say a lot is stop thinking about things and just do. It's my closing statement, guys. All right, it's been real. It's been a rocky pod. Get it? A rocky pod. Anyway.
Because I definitely made it rocky.
But I hope you guys learned something. And I hope you guys, if you guys aren't a fan, I hope you guys become fans of the Rocky movies, because the more you're in tune with your artistic expression, the more you find in Rocky. And it's not just a boxing movie. It's really like a movie. It has a story. It has a plot. It's really good. It's romantic. And it's beautiful. I love it. So if you guys haven't watched it, make sure to watch all of it, even the fifth one. Even if we didn't spend that much time on it, watch the fifth one, because it's also part of life. And from what we said, I hope you guys learned something, because there's always something to learn from people that from everybody, So yeah, anything you guys want to say? Just in general.
Not that I hope everyone has a wonderful day, wonderful night. Stay safe, and hug everyone that you love a little bit.
Say it again, because it cut you off.
Saying that hug anybody that you love a little bit tighter today.
Yes, sir. What were you gonna say, Raj?
I'll watch Rocky movies. I swear, Papa. I'm sorry. And
my guys. What else?
Oh
no, go ahead. What else?
Long story short, I was gonna say, long story short, just don't take your moments for granted. Life's very short. We seem like we're young as shit right now, but who knows? Next 20 years might feel like a 1 year in like retrospect. Don't waste it. We only get one.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Hooligans High. I hope you got your hooligans high off of us, because trust me, we want that energy. We want you to feed off of us. We want you to, feel empowered, feel strong. You know what else we want you to do? We want you to go the distance. It's been real, ladies and gentlemen. It's Hooligans High. I'm Jay. All right, this is where you guys go. I'm Kev.
Roger.
I'm Raj, and we're out.
Kev.
All right,
you guys have
let's try this one more time.
I caught that.
I know. Thank you, Raj. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. I was supposed to go second.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Roger.
And we're Hooligans High. Have a good night, guys.